few years ago, I wrote a revolutionary best-selling golf book called The Golf Swing. And in it, I described various links being the various positions in the swing, because I felt that would really help people understand where they're trying to get the club to. Now, we do not want to think about that when we're playing, obviously, but having an idea of where the club should be at certain positions, I think is a vital key to improving your overall technique. Now, what I've done, I've summarized those techniques into the most important ones. And I feel the ones I'm going to describe now to you are the ones that are really going to help you. And through David Ledbetter Interactive, you're going to see how you can actually improve the positions and the links in your golf swing. The most important link in the swing we've already discussed in detail, and that's address. And you have to have that right in order for the next one to be effective. So let's talk about the next link or position in the swing. Right. What it is the first move away. Everything moves away, and it only moves a short distance. You can see, look at the distance the butt end of the club moves. The butt end moves this far, the head moves that far. In order to do this, you must sense that the head, the hands, the arms, the chest, all move together away in sync. We want to feel a little shift to the right with your right hip. You don't want to stay dead still. Everything moves, everything flows, everything's relaxed. At this point, the thing to check is that the butt of the club moves closer to your right leg. The club head, most important, is outside of your hands, and your right hand and right arm are on top. That's the feeling you want to have. We don't want anything rolling underneath. So everything just moves away. It's a very soft movement. No tension. We're not trying to put the club there, we're trying to swing it there. And that's vitally important. Remember, everything we're trying to do here is to swing from link to link, not just position it. These are just checkpoints. They're checkpoints through which we swing. So, as we swing back, everything flows away together. The right arm's on top of the left. We have a little angle here at the back of my left wrist. You can see. No tendency to do this. At this point, and I turn this actually to 8 o'clock position, thinking in terms of 6 o'clock being at address, 7, 8. So that's a nice little checkpoint. But I sense a little pressure in my right foot. That means my weight is already starting to shift. Also, have a look that I haven't got much turn at this point. A lot of people tend to overturn at this juncture. So remember, just a little turn, nice and relaxed, club head outside the hands. That's key. And there you are, your first important link. Now, let's move on to the next checkpoint or link in the swing. That really is the halfway back point. This is a position that I really like because, you know, this is the top of your backswing minus your turn. So if we can get to this point correctly, that makes everything else that much easier. So, once we've passed through our first link here, we set the club in a way that, hey, that my right wrist is hinged, my left wrist is fully cocked, my right elbow is above my left arm. Now, this checkpoint here, your left arm should be about parallel to the ground, and that's the thing that we want to look at. Left arm parallel to the ground, hands in the center of the chest. Now, this is where we start to describe the plane of the swing, the angle of the shaft. Now, if you can picture the line at address, as we swing back, I like to see most players get a little steeper than that original plane. Now, some players have it right on it, some players have it a little steeper, and my preference for most golfers is to have it a little steeper, purely because most players are way too flat at this point. You can see the end of the club, the butt of the club, points somewhere just inside the ball target line, outside of my feet, but close to the ball target line. At this point, I feel my wrist fully cocked. I've got a full wrist cock at this point. And the club is on plane, and my arms are nice and relaxed. The other thing to look at here is that my turn is not complete. I've probably only got about 2/3 of my turn as well. My left knee is being pulled across, and I'm in a position now where I've started to rotate my body to the right. I'm in a great position there to move on to the next link. Right, we're moving swiftly through the links. Let's talk about the next link now, the top of the backswing position. This is a position that's checked regularly with a lot of good players. Now, we can see here at the top of the swing, my wrists are fully cocked, my left thumb is under the shaft, and the club is just supported by my left thumb. We try to get the club pointing pretty much parallel to our target line. As a rule of thumb, that's a good position to try to get into. My right elbow supports the club. You can see how my forearm matches my spine. As I swing it back, you can see here I am. My right forearm matches my spine. You don't want to jam it in. You can see I've got almost a 90-degree angle under my arm and also on top of my arm. So these two little boxes are a good image to have. I sense, too, at the top of the swing that the left wrist is fairly flat. There may be a hair of a cup to it, but that's the position one should look at. Also, my body is fully wound up. I really feel that my back is facing the target, my left shoulder is under the chin, and I feel like my head is just rotated slightly from its original start position. We do not want to try to keep our head dead still. Very few people are flexible enough to complete their backswing, keeping their head dead still. So we complete the backswing, my left knee's across. If I'm not that flexible, I might have to raise my left heel very slightly. But also notice, I keep the flex in my right knee. I keep the pressure on the inside of that right foot. That supports the coil. Very important at the top of the backswing to be fully wound. That's your power. The stretching down the back muscles here, that's what really allows you to hit the ball solidly and a long way. So at the top of the backswing, club pointed pretty much at the target line, parallel to it, fully wound up. I'm now in a position ready to come down.